The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
After 9 years of the NDP Liberals, taxes up, costs up, crimes up, time's up. Today, we'll vote to trigger a carbon tax election between the costly carbon tax coalition of NDP Liberals who tax your food, punish your work, double your housing cost and unleash crime and chaos, or common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Why can't we bring it home today?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, again, with the clever little performance of slogans he's memorized without any actual solutions for Canadians. He doesn't care about Canadians. He cares about his own political self-interest. If he cared about Canadians, he wouldn't have voted against dental care. He wouldn't have voted against more spaces at $10 a day childcare. He wouldn't have voted against initiatives that are growing the economy, putting more money in people's pockets. He wants a climate change election. Let's have that election in the right time where we're putting more money in the pockets of Canadians. This is not the time for that. We're going to continue to deliver for Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, he just said he wants a carbon tax election on his plan to quadruple the tax to 61 cents a litre. If so, will he call it today?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I believe this on today we will see that this House does not have confidence in the leader of the Conservative Party. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered, are continuing to deliver, reduced emissions, more money in the pockets of Canadians, and success in the fight against climate change as we create jobs and build a stronger future. We are focused on delivering for Canadians the things that actually matter, while he's focused on slogans and clapping. Mr. Speaker, we're going to focus on being there for Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he's concerned that we're clapping for him. He agreed to a carbon tax election on his quadrupling of the tax to 61 cents a litre, where Canadians will choose between an NDP Liberal government that has taxed their food, punished their work, doubled their housing costs, and unleashed crime and chaos in their communities, or a common-sense Conservative government to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. He's bragging that he has more politicians on his side. Isn't it really the case that in Canada, the people decide?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, with the Canada carbon rebate, the price on pollution puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians right across the country. But we already know from his misunderstanding of carbon pricing that the Conservative leader doesn't understand math or economics. What's increasingly clear is he doesn't understand science as well. That's why I'd be happy to give him a briefing on the science of climate change. And good news on this one, it doesn't require a security clearance for it.
Order, please. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. The Bloc is voting to keep the Liberal government in power, the most centralizing government in the history of our country. They added 100,000 public servants. They have doubled consulting costs, doubled debt, and the cost of housing. Is it not time to allow Quebecers to vote to cut their taxes, build homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime with a common-sense government? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, the Conservative leader is offering cuts for programs, cuts for services, cuts in the fight against climate change, all the things that concern Quebecers and all Canadians. They have nothing to offer but austerity and performances here at the House of Commons. They're continued to cut programs like dental care, daycare spots, an investment in pharmacare, an investment to grow our economy with green investments. We are going to invest in Canadians and Quebecers, and they're just there to cut. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. People who are poor are already seeing austerity because of cuts to their budget. They still don't have the means to buy a house, they say. And this dream just gets further and further away for some because the crisis just makes housing prices worse and everything else becomes excessively expensive. In Montreal, when I was housing minister, it cost $500 a month for an apartment. Is it not time to allow Quebecers to elect a government that will build homes? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, if this Conservative leader is so really concerned with single mothers, he wouldn't have voted against more daycare spots or voted against help for children with CCB. He would not have voted against investment that we're making to create more economic growth for these children and to put more money back in their pockets. But when he was housing minister under Harper, he did nothing for affordable housing across our country, and that's not what we want to be repeated again. Thank you.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.